Home Pond!
Hey gamers, welcome back to another pickups video. It's almost the end of term 2 for me here at uni, so today I'm going to show you guys what I picked up over the course of the past few months, starting Christmas, I believe. Yeah, I'm going in roughly chronological order. So over Christmas, I decided to get myself a little gift. Picked up some heavy hitters over eBay, some games I've been looking for since I pretty much started collecting. Here is Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace. I don't know if you can see it clearly through this little plastic case it's in, but unfortunately it is cart only. I was bidding on this lot of Mega Man games that included a complete in-box version of that. I was gonna get all the Star Force games, some manga, and I think it was one of the Game Boy games. I was gonna get a lot of that for 50 quid, but someone sniped me at the last minute. Thankfully though, I did find another auction for the cart only, and I picked that up for 14 quid, which is not a bad deal considering the rarity of that game. It only came out in Japan and USA and Canada. It didn't come over here in Europe, so finding copies is extremely hard. Next, similar story, Persona 2, Eternal Punishment. Now, if you watch my channel, you'll know that I absolutely love the Persona games. Eternal Punishment is the second half of the Persona 2 duology. The first of the games is Innocent Sin, which got a PSP remake. I've got the special edition of that, and I beat that a few years ago. But the remake for Eternal Punishment never made its way to the West at all, so the only English version of the game, not counting patches and whatnot for the Japanese remake, is the PS1 USA version. So again, since this didn't come out over here in the PAL regions, I basically have no chance of finding this out in the wild, so I had to resort to eBay. Of course, if you are a game collector and if you do follow PS1 games, you'll know that Eternal Punishment goes for a heck of a lot of money. But thankfully I found best offer auction. I offered 50 quid and the seller accepted, so I was really happy to find that. Next, when I came back to the UK, I brought a bunch of DVDs from home to trade into CEX. Just some cartoon DVDs that I saw had decent trade-in value. And I had enough money to pick up Borderlands, the Handsome Collection for PS4, and Space Race for PS2. I got Borderlands for 20 quid, Space Race was 1 quid. Borderlands I've been after since, it's basically one of the reasons that convinced me to buy a PS4, because it's got the pre-sequel, Borderlands 2, and all their DLC in one package, and it allows for 4-player couch co-op. And Space Race is a game I had when I was a kid. I played the hell out of that on the PS2, so it was great to just find this complete in box for a good price. Another eBay find, this is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. This is the limited collector's edition or special edition or whatever it's called. Kingdom Hearts is one of my absolute favorite game series, and I do have Birth by Sleep, the standard edition on the PSP. I've beaten that already. But I found this for cheap on eBay. This was like 15 quid, and I'm like, you know what, I'll bite the bullet, and when I go back to Cyprus, I'll just sell or trade off my standard edition of the game. The special edition comes with this cardboard box, of course, and also an art book and some art cards, so that's pretty cool. I really like, I've probably said this before in other videos, but I really like special editions that come with this art stuff. Next up is another PS4 game, one I've been really excited about. In fact, I think it's the only PS4 game I've pre-ordered so far, and that is Life is Strange. This is the limited edition, which again comes with a cardboard box, art book, and the soundtrack. I was really excited about this because at first it was digital only, and I've heard great things about it, but I never bought the game because I'm not really into digital games. So as soon as they announced that this was getting a physical release, I just got really excited. I got this for 25 quid off Amazon, and I've played through it already. It's pretty short, but it's interesting. It's an experience, I'll give it that much. And I recommend it fairly highly. It had come to my attention that there was going to be a new Digimon game coming up, and a wave of nostalgia hit me. So I trolled eBay and found Digimon World 2003. I think this is known as Digimon World 3 in the States. This is another game I had as a kid. I never really managed to get very far. I don't remember understanding exactly how the game worked. But I did have it as a kid at one point. I didn't have it anymore. And unfortunately, this copy didn't come with the front cover and manual. The back cover's fine somehow. It's just the front cover and manual that they didn't have. But the disc is great. The seller said it was tested and it works. I haven't been able to test it here. But regardless, it's just one of those things where I just feel really glad to find this in my collection now. And also, I got Digimon World Data Squad. I found this really cheap. This is the US version. Another game that didn't get over here in Europe. And I was like, you know what? Might as well. I don't remember how much I got it for, but I remember thinking to myself that it was quite cheap. I think it was like 10 quid. So for a region exclusive, that's quite a good deal. This next lot of games though was an even better deal. I got all these from thrift stores. For 10p, I got Croc, Legend of the Gobos on the PS1, complete in box. Then for almost £1, I got the second SingStar. This is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. I've got the first SingStar game already. It's a good party game, and this one's got M&M, so I was like, you know what? For less than £1, I'll bite the bullet. And then, these next 3 games were all 1p each. So it's Truth or Lies, FIFA 10, and FIFA 11. I don't really like football or soccer or whatever the heck you want to call it, so I never really jumped on the FIFA or Pro Evolution or whatever bandwagon. And Truth or Lies, I'm pretty sure it's just shovelware, but for 1p each, at the very least, that gets me replacement PS3 cases. And then a couple of good PS1 titles, if not great PS1 titles from what I'm told, is Oddworld, Abe's Exodus, and Heart of Darkness. I've heard great things about these games, mostly Oddworld, but I've never had them myself, so I hope to give them a shot over the summer. This next bunch of games I got from Game using their 3-for-2 deal, and the first one is Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. I think this is Sega Mega Drive Sonic Collection or something along those lines in the US. It's got Sonic on the cover, I remember. But anyway, the point is this is 40 Mega Drive games, upscaled to the PS3 with full trophy support, so of course I had to have this. And then I've got Wipeout HD Fury, part of the Wipeout high-speed futuristic racing games. I've actually got the digital version and beat that years ago already. It was I got it for free when the PSN went down and they gave people some free games digitally to make up for it. I think this only got a physical release here in Europe, and it's quite an uncommon game, so even though I already beat it, I had to have it. And since I was getting those 2 games anyway, I picked up MotorStorm Apocalypse. This is another racing game, part of the MotorStorm series, so it's an arcade racer. I really like its cel-shaded art style. I had this in my collection years ago, I beat it, I traded it off, and I've been looking to get it back ever since, but I can never find it at a decent price, so I got this back practically for free. Next is Project Cross Zone or Project X Zone or however the heck you want to say it. It's a crossover strategy RPG with characters from Sega, Capcom, and Bandai Namco. So it's got Tekken, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Dead Rising, Virtua Fighter, Devil May Cry. Let's just look at the cover. Basically, I heard that this was getting a sequel, and I was on the fence about getting that until I saw the trailer had Fire Emblem characters in it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play the first game before I jump gun and get the second one. So I found this at CEX for 20 quid. I didn't remove the label yet. I've played a bit of this. It's decent. It's it's very hit or miss. The plot is extremely flimsy. It's obviously like just an excuse to get all these different characters to move from place to place. But the characters are well written. Like, they all seem true to the style that they have in their original games, at least as far as I know. There's a lot of these games I haven't played, like Dot Hack, for example. But anyway, I'm going off topic here. It's interesting, I'll give it that much. Now, if you've been watching my pickups videos since pretty much the very beginning, you may remember one of the first videos I did. I got a bunch of games from a seller on a Facebook group back in Cyprus, and one of them was Electroplankton. So the copy I got back then was a Japanese copy of the game, even though the copy in the picture was the American release. So, like I said in that video, I didn't really mind, I just sold it off. But then, a couple of days ago, I found this on eBay for £4. This is the UK version. So I'm really happy to get this back in my collection. It's been in my wanted list ever since then, so really happy to find this. Last but most certainly not least, I actually imported a couple of Vita games because they're region exclusive, so I couldn't find them anywhere in Europe, obviously. And the first one is the new Digimon game I was alluding to previously, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I've opened it up. I'm actually selling the DLC on eBay to sort of offset the cost of the game a little bit, because I don't usually buy new releases. But I was definitely going to get this game. It's also got a PS4 release, which is out here, but I wanted to get this on the Vita, and the only region that got this was the Asian English region, Region 3. So that's like Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, etc. So I was glad I was able to find this at a decent price. And to sort of offset the shipping cost, I also got another game I had my eyes on for a while, and this is Ragnarok Odyssey Ace. This is the launch edition, which comes with a soundtrack. I've actually been eyeing this since the Vita's launch, basically, when the first Ragnarok Odyssey game came out. And this is basically that, but with all the DLC. And this launch edition, like I said, comes with a soundtrack and also this relatively big cardboard box, which I'm going to have to try to keep intact now. So yeah, that's everything I've got to show you in this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I hope to see you next time. Cheers!